Hi, Funeral Lady here. Wanted to hop on and chat a little bit about the time of year that we find ourselves in, which is very close to Christmas. Almost 2 weeks away. This season brings a lot of joy and a lot of togetherness. And for people that are suffering a loss, whether recent or a long time ago, this season can bring a lot of heaviness, a lot of sadness. A lot of people might tend to want to retreat. Everyone needs different things in this time of year. And so I wanted to hop on and talk about things that we can do this season to maybe make things a little bit easier all around, surrounding 3 words: grace, fear, and gestures. So with grace, I want that to be a theme in terms of how those that are bereaved right now feel about themselves. If you are feeling the heaviness of a loss this time of year, give yourself grace. Give yourself comfort. It's very easy to be upset with ourselves on top of the grief and the feelings that we're feeling like magnified this year. So if we can remove the feelings of being upset with ourselves or having expectations of how we should feel on top of just feeling what we do feel, that's a nice way to give ourselves grace. It's okay to have grace around how you feel about saying yes and saying no this time of year. There are lots of events and gatherings and things that are happening, and give yourself grace around following your own needs and comfort when you are invited to things. People want you to know that you're included, but 9 times out of 10, everyone understands if you say no. They would just rather you know that you're being thought of. So it's easy to have this judgment or fear of judgment in our heads because we assume everyone's judging us. And I like to have faith in the fact that most people are not. The anticipatory fear, now we're on to my next word, is sometimes what creates the judgment on ourselves. So let's try to be less afraid. It's okay to embrace joy. A lot of people that are bereaved right now have a fear of allowing themselves to feel joy. I can almost guarantee you that your loved one would want nothing more than for you to feel joy. And part of grief is allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel when you need to feel it. And most people's first thoughts on what that means is feelings of loss and sadness. It also means feelings of joy, feeling humor, feeling frustration, feeling defeated. Feeling all the things around grief literally means all the things. So try not to be afraid of joy. Try not to be afraid of laughter. Try not to be afraid of rage. There are places now that are created for you to go and release rage in physical ways that can kind of help the mental and the mind. So feel what you need to feel, but don't limit what those feelings are. And when I mention gestures, I'm thinking of things that we can do, both as the bereaved and as those of us that are supporting people that are bereaved. Making gestures goes a long way. If you're invited to an event and the person that passed away used to make a certain recipe every year, show up with that recipe as a gesture to honor them. Create a place in the home, either a seat at the table or, a coffee table in the corner, somewhere that can represent the memory of that person. Maybe their favorite sweater or shirt or slippers and pictures. Have the kids draw their favorite Christmas memory about the person that passed away. Nice gifts that I've seen this time of year. I'm amazed with just the creativity and the variety of gifts that you can find for personalizing, memorial gifts. You can make things like ornaments are always beautiful to make in honor of a loved one. Kids, like I said, drawing art and framing it, scanning it, making a t-shirt, making someone a blanket of their favorite pictures of the person that passed away. There are lots of websites where you can, have things printed on canvas or mugs. 2 things that I saw recently on Facebook that I thought are beautiful ideas are jewelry or ornaments where the personalization technology is, one is a photo and it looks like a bead, but when you look into the bead, you see a perfect image of the photo that is uploaded. It reminds me of like Horace, like plastic little things that you used to get on a keychain with like a white projector kind of thing on the end, and you look in and you see the full image. This was kind of like that, but in a really tasteful, beautiful bead or pendant. So that I will link to the comments below. The other thing I saw that was really beautiful was jewelry, like metal jewelry made from handwriting or the signature that you have of the loved one. So if you have a Christmas card or the person's signature or anything in their handwriting, you just scan it and the necklace or pendant gets made in that handwriting, which I think is gorgeous. And there's a lot about a person's signature. I am really sad that the youth aren't learning handwriting anymore because of the personalization that comes in your own handwriting. But man, there are a lot of people out there that have beautiful, iconic signatures, and you know who I'm talking about in your families. So it's beautiful to memorialize that. Just a couple of ideas, and sitting around the table, hey, don't be afraid to talk about the person that passed. Share stories. Do random acts of kindness. It feels really amazing to just go to Dunkin' Donuts and pay for the car behind you and just let them know this is in memory of, your father that passed away or your brother. Give them the person's name, and it'll give you a nice lift knowing that you brighten someone's day in honor of your loved one. So yeah, fear, grace, gestures, these are all different ways that we can help comfort each other through this very magnetized time of year. So I hope everyone enjoys their holiday season, is surrounded by love, and if they're also surrounded by loss, I hope the love is magnified. So happy holidays to everyone from the Funeral Lady.